Yo, 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 what it do now? Just a babe. You already know. And yes, back again. I had to do it. I had to do it, man, like always. But I know it's been a while, and I know I got a lot of things to catch you guys up on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been going back and forth over this episode, this segment, this whatever it's gonna be. I haven't decided. I don't know what I want to do sometimes. Like there's so many things that I feel like I can do. Like I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. That sometimes I think it's called like executive paralysis, where you just don't know which way to go. You don't know what to do, but you just know you want to get it all done. And then it leads to procrastination, which leads to anxiety because you're like, am I gonna get it done? Which leads to depression because man, I'm never gonna get it done. And then you just end up in this cycle, and what you need to do is just fucking do it, right? Like Nike was on to something when they were like, just do it. Simple, but effective. So that's what I needed to do. I needed to just do it. I wasn't sure, am I going to come on here and talk? Sorry about that. Am I going to come on here and I'm just going to like talk about where I've been the past 12 months? Am I going to talk about what the job's been like? Or, the mental journey I've gone through? I don't know. Why not all of it, right? So, one thing that I've realized during this year, I'm a storyteller. I'm not a liar. I'm not a fibber. I'm not nothing like that. But I tell stories. I communicate narratives. I take these concepts and I break them down and I make them relatable and I use vehicles to drive these narratives, right? Um, so in doing such, I realized that everything I've done has just been another story that's just been untold, untold story being unveiled, revealing story. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is a story that is being told, that's being unveiled into this beautiful, beautiful, just overarching narrative of life. And I've just been going through so much, and I'm not going to get into the wishy-washy new age manifestation type of terminology. I'm just thinking like life is poetic, and sometimes I get to speaking poetically, but like all good stories, for the most part, start at the beginning. So the beginning of this year, bruh, I went through it. I didn't know if I was gonna make it, and I know that sounds hyperbolic, but I'm dead ass serious. Like I was struggling. All right, so there was a few things that I was starting to kind of understand. One, I alienate a lot of people by sometimes being condescending or sometimes talking down without even thinking about it. Like I don't intentionally try to do it. It's things that I have about me, character, personality flaws that I'm working on because I'm recognizing that they were alienating and hurting relationships that I had. And I just got out of a relationship with somebody that I was like, yo, maybe it is me. Like sometimes you got to come to that realization, like, it in math we call this the common denominator, and that seems to be my ass. Like, why is it me, right? Like it can't just always be them. And that was some maturity that I had to get to. So I started realizing like it is me, but I didn't have enough time to really think about it because Roro virus. That's what I think. I think it's the Roro virus, right? That motherfucker hit me like a punch in the gut, dog. Oh Lord, man, that was some of the worst stuff I ever ever went through, man. I'm telling you, like there was like a 72-hour period, dog, that I was just down for the count, right? I was just laying in bed and I just kept throwing up everything. So I couldn't eat. I kept trying to drink water because I was so dehydrated, but I just had so much mucus just keep going down that I couldn't drink anything. Ugh, bro, I was throwing, I was, your boy was looking bad. I was down and out for the count, you know? Whew. But I was able to get through it, and I was able to get myself back on the road because, as y'all know, I be dashing. Well, I was dashing at that time. Like I said, it's been a lot that's been going on. But, anyways, during this time that I'm at the house, I'm not able to get on the road. I'm not able to really do anything. I'm watching TV. And one thing, this is just weird to me. And I guess since we're in the same time period, um, do y'all remember that Kroger commercial last year where it's like these It's like a white and a black, I think, like a adoptive family or whatnot, or not family, but like they're the parents or whatnot, and they're adopting foreign exchange students. And each one of the students comes through and they show them like their different culture and like they involve them. It's a beautiful, beautiful Kroger commercial. I mean, thing had me in my goddamn feelings, y'all. So I had to go check it. I was like, hold up, man, what's going on? And then like TikTok was talking about it and everything. Like it was just a beautiful commercial. But anyways, so I'm watching it. You know, I can't really watch TV as much. So I get back to one of my favorite things, reading. I don't do it as much as I should. Damn sure don't do it as much as I should. And I don't do it as much as I want to. But I got back to reading and I went and I got this one book out of my shelf that I thought that I had really understood, but I really did not. And the book is called Never Get Angry Again. And the reason that it resonated with me this time is because I recognized that it was my anger that was causing a lot of issues. Because as I was going through Ro virus, I recognized I didn't have anybody around me. I was lonely all by myself, right? I don't know why I just did the DX thing, but I don't know what to do with my hands in this new segment, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna act like, I'm not gonna skip the elephant in the room. I get it. We're in a different like setting, right? This isn't the camera anymore. This is me right in front of y'all and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. So I'm getting used to it. Like we adjusting. But anyways, right? So I'm reading this book, Never Get Angry Again, by I think his name is Dr. David Lieberman or something like that. And the overarching theme of the book is gratitude. And when you have gratitude, how you don't get angry because gratitude provides perspective. And perspective keeps you from getting angry. And then he also made me understand things like pain isn't a bad thing. And then he used an example like, let's say you break your leg, but you don't know that you break your leg, and without that pain and the receptors to let you know, you can continue to do like irreparable damage. But if you do know that it's broken, you can actually get to a point of trying to actually heal it because now you know that there's an issue because that pain is something to make you understand not necessarily the greater good. I don't want to romanticize it, but it does make you understand the struggle. It does make the journey a little bit more satisfying and fulfilling when you get to certain milestones because you knew what you had to go through to get there, right? So gratitude does that, and gratitude adds patience, right? So these two things that I've added to my repertoire, I guess you would say, are now the building blocks for how I'm moving forward. I'm moving with gratitude and I'm utilizing patience, right? Which in turn builds more empathy, and these are beautiful if you're trying to establish long lasting relationships. And I want to talk about that because I realized that a lot of my relationships, especially, well, not especially, the relationships that I had with women were just lust filled, right? Like I wasn't appreciating the value of women and I didn't recognize outside of just having sex with them how amazingly dope they can be when you're just friends, right? Like when y'all can just cut up and just talk about anything or whatever, man. Shouts out to my people, my homies. Y'all, hey, Jamie, I appreciate you. Yeah, I really do. You are a really, really good friend. And you've shown me that nothing, like, I mean, not nothing, but you've shown me that relationships don't have to be romantic. Like, platonic relationships with the opposite sex are fucking incredible and dope when y'all can just have fun, right? And I'm building more long lasting relationships like this. And I'm realizing I had to get out of my own way. So these are some of the things that I've been going through mentally at the beginning of the year, which set me up for moving forward, right? All right. So now we're moving forward. So we get out of the funk that I'm in, but I have a problem. The apartments that I'm at, I got to figure out where I'm about to go because my lease is about up and I don't have anywhere to go. And my credit is a little shabby at this moment. You know what I'm talking about? So I had to do something. I ended up getting my credit up a little bit and then an opportunity presented itself. In hindsight, I understand why that opportunity presented itself. It was good, it was bad, bittersweet, whatever you want to say. But so I'm dashing one day and I happened to take this order to the leasing office of this apartment complex that I've seen many times, but never actually took any time to actually go and check out. So it's a spot called Timber Ridge, and we are going to have a whole episode about all of the bullshit that I dealt with at Timber Ridge. But regardless, for this story now, we're just going to talk about the fact that it was a place I was able to lay my head down. Yeah. Okay. So I end up in this place right here after about a week in a hotel or whatnot, and I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing, and I'm working at this. this restaurant, Peking Garden. I don't know if I mentioned it. Like I said, I've been doing this episode so many times I can't even remember. So regardless, we'll just talk about it. So I'm no longer just dashing, right? I'm also doing Peking Garden because I realize that if I continue to dash, I'm really just putting more and more and more wear and tear on my vehicle. It's not doing anything for me. We're not moving forward and we're staying stagnant. And I can't do that. So I need me another job. So what do I go do? You already know. If somebody's trying to get off of the road and they don't want to drive as much anymore because they're tired of delivering food, what is something that they would probably go do to help them no longer do that? You're right. They would go get a delivery driver job at a restaurant. Yeah, I know. It don't make sense. But it did make sense because in the long run, I did actually get off the road a lot more because I wasn't just in the car all day, right? So I got to split it up. No more 8 hour days just whipping. Now it's like 4 hours of just straight whipping, and then I'm in the restaurant for hours just kicking it. And then if I have a delivery, I take it. And I made some pretty decent money. I ain't even gonna hold you. And I was able to knock out a lot of things during that time. I was getting my mind I was gonna say fortified. Sometimes I just be throwing words out. Like you know what a word means, but you don't know how to like properly use it at times. So I strengthened my mental. And in doing such, I was able to start believing that I deserved better things. And that cannot be overstated. The belief that you deserve good things or that you deserve better than what you are getting will fundamentally change your life. We as humans are flawed, right? We know that. But deep within our flaws is this weird internalized self sabotage that is unconscious at times. We don't even recognize it until we understand that we blew the opportunity, right? So I'm going through all of these things. I'm going through this mental journey. I'm learning that the opportunities will present themselves if I truly believe that I deserve them. So I'm scrolling Facebook one day and I just happened to come across this job posting in the Houston County Democrat. Shouts out to Kristen for posting that job. Yo, shouts out. I appreciate you. But I didn't even click on the job that day. Right. Like I was like, oh man, that's cool, whatever. It looks like a good job and stuff like that. But I'm not thinking about it in that kind of context. I see it again because it reposts. Well, it doesn't repost, but it comes back on my timeline like a day or two later. And I'm like, all right, hold on. Let me see what's up with this job. Right. So I actually checked the job out and I'm like, yo, I'm actually qualified. This looks fun. This is exactly what I want to do. I didn't even know this job existed. Like, what the fuck? What? Oh, wow. Okay. We in there. Right now, we in there. Okay. It's cool. I mean, obviously, I haven't gotten the job yet, but I'm like, all right, fuck it, man. Let's go ahead and apply for it. You know what I mean? What the worst thing to say? No? Hell no. I don't know. But anyways, I realized that I'm gonna go ahead and give it an old college try. And I end up getting a call back and they're like, hey, we really enjoyed your what's it called? Your resume and all the things that you've been able to do. We want to set up an interview. I was like, cool. So we set up an interview, man, and I knocked that thing out the park. I'm talking grand slam. You dig? Man, look, I know they was feeling it because their eyes was just getting wider and wider. Like, we got one. Yo, we got one. I was like, yeah, y'all got one. So there's like, all right, well, if you make it to the next round of interviews, then they're gonna do blase blase. I was like, all right, cool. So they hit me up and they're like, all right, you made it to the next round. We want you to do this exercise for us where I had to create like I had to create a means of communication for a situation that was going on in the county, right? So there was a big issue going on, and how would I, in my capacity, bring awareness to this issue without being from that area, right? So I can't just, excuse me, jump on Facebook because none of the people that are going to be on my Facebook are actually going to be in this area. So how do you create something? And I did my thing on that. I ain't gonna talk too much about what I did. You know what I'm saying? I'll be holding them secrets. But anyways, I did happen to really, really impress them with that. And then I made it to the third interview and I knew it was over because then they started talking about, so when you start, you're gonna be doing that. I was like, oh, it's in the bag, y'all. It's in the bag. So I ended up getting the job and I started that April, the end of April. That April, I started in April. And y'all, it was wild. I am not gonna lie. mm, the, oh, yeah, the, mm, mm, all right. First week, we're just going through what they call onboard. They're just kind of putting everybody into into their place, their position. We're kind of meeting people. We're doing nothing but Google Meet and Zoom calls, and we're getting all of our information, filling in all this paperwork, all that kind of stuff. Right. Next week, spring break. Yes, spring break. I was off for a whole week, getting paid, not doing man, but 2K. No, I'm just playing. I was actually getting myself ready because the following week, we went to Minneapolis. Dog, right? Think about this now. 2.5 weeks prior, I was still at Peking Garden dashing. Now I'm going to Minneapolis. And not just that. So as I'm getting to the airport, I find the guy that I've been talking to the most, who's my supervisor, director, I guess. His name's David. Really, really great, jovial, big, nice red hair, really cool dude, right? Good guy. And he's got like a great, like, charismatic personality and everything like that. Really, really knows how to make people feel, at ease, right? So, oh boy, saying at ease like that took me back. Y'all saw my eyes like that when I said at ease. I started thinking about the military days. My bad. But anyways, so I run into him at the airport or whatnot, because we all got the same flight, and I end up running into this other guy, another organizer, and his name's Cody. And I didn't get a chance to see Cody really prior to the airport because he wasn't on a lot of the calls because he had got hired like a week after us. So Cody has the great idea that he's gonna go check out the George Floyd Memorial, and I'm like, oh my god, how did I not even think about that? I'm like, whoa. I was like, all right, yo, let me go ahead and tag along, right? And he's like, yeah, yeah, man, let's go. So we finally get a chance to go, and I'm standing here, like I'm standing in the spot that started everything for me 4 years ago. Like I was a commentator. I was somebody who was trying to rap, and I was trying to do spoken word, but I was never really civically engaged. I was never in the community really doing things productively. But the minute that George Floyd lost his life and we had those protests in Warner Robins and we got active, ever since that day, it's been nonstop. I'm in these streets, and that was 4 years ago. And I'm sitting there and I'm just realizing the gravity of everything. 8 minutes and 46 seconds was the time that it took for this man to lose his life with a knee in his back as he suffocated in front of the world, crying and calling out for his mom. And as somebody who has like an incredible relationship for their mom, I understand the pain in that, in calling out for that. When you call out for the one source of comfort that has always been there, like, it's such an unconditional response. I don't even know how to describe it, but we saw it, we watched it, we witnessed it, and if it wasn't for a camera being pulled out, we wouldn't have even known that this happened in the way that it did. And I'm standing here and I'm realizing that this isn't a location. This is a moment in time. And you see the graffiti, and you see the flowers, and you see everything from pictures and posters and quotes and sayings, and you feel it. The minute you cross over into George Floyd Square, you feel it. It's indescribable, but you feel it. And you know that you feel it because you look next to the person that is with you and you don't have to say a word. It's just understood. And I never really got a chance to too much talk about it, right? Like, I might have attempted to, but I never really got a chance to truly articulate what that moment did for me. It made me realize that, one, not only could I be better, I had to be better. had to be better for my community, for myself, for my family, for the people that I cared about. I needed to be better. So we got back from Minneapolis and we're chilling. Next couple of days, I'm just kind of still falling into place with this new position. And then the next week, we end up in Atlanta. So I'm in Buckhead, y'all, right? Like I can't remember. I think we might be in the not the Omni. Where were we? Oh, the Hyatt. My bad. We was at the Hyatt, right? Chilling, man. These folks got paper or something. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like they got their money. So we chilling, get a chance to meet everybody. It's no longer screens between us, so it's daps, it's hugs and all that kind of stuff, and it's dope, man, because all of these people that you hear in these daily check-ins or these meetings and stuff like that, they have like some of the coolest ideas, and all day long they're just working on the betterment of society. And now you get a chance to just like be in the room with them, and it's different, man. That energy is palpable. It's exciting, and everybody is so passionate, and everybody just cares so much about this issue and that issue, and everybody's so fucking educated. They're so smart, they're so intelligent, they're creative, they're talented, they have skills that I didn't even know existed. Like I got put on a team of incredible beings, and I'm sitting here and I'm starting to get imposter syndrome, y'all. Like I'm starting to feel like a fraud. Like what am I doing here with these people that have been in grassroots organizing for 8 years, that have been leading campaigns, that have, been in this and been in that, and worked at news stations and journalists. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here? Right. But remember what I told y'all earlier? That's that self sabotage. We can't let that shit happen. So, you know what I did? I allowed myself to instill confidence in myself by asking my executive director if I could perform one of my pieces. Because if I recognize that everybody has a place, everybody has a position, and everybody has like this, not necessarily pedestal, I just wanted to keep doing the piece, but everybody has like this level of understanding of who they are and what they do. So for me, it's like, well, what do you do? Oh, you manipulate words in a way nobody else can. You do your motherfucking thing. So I did F your hashtag, and man, they loved it. And it made me realize, like, okay, I do have a place here. I got to figure it out, but I do have a place here. So after that week, we're really starting to hit the ground running. I'm going to events. I'm talking to everybody. They're starting to know, like, I got this job with Progress Georgia. They like, oh, snap, you doing this? What you doing? I ain't seen you in a while. Bam, bam. I'm getting all of these connects. I'm doing a lot of different things. And I'm finally starting to run the PGA underscore MGA account, right? So now I get a chance to actually create content and get paid for it, which is something we're going to be doing eventually when we get monetized on here. But like, bro, I'm telling you, it was incredible. Like I'm literally creating these short reels and these like graphics about things that I care about, that I'm passionate about, that I've always wanted more and more people to know, and like for criminal justice and marijuana legislation and fucking legislation, legalization. I guess it is legislation, legalization of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Free the weed. But sorry. But yeah, man, I'm making these graphics and I'm doing things, and then something incredible happens. I get the chance to go to Washington, D.C. as a poet representing a nonprofit organization dedicated to being a communication hub for the progressive movement. What? Do y'all realize that like 4.5, 5 months earlier, I didn't even know if I was going to make it? And now here I am on a stage next to women from Arizona and North Carolina on a panel right, on a panel talking to Gen Z. Like there's about 100 of these Gen Z students and kids out here just soaking up everything that we're talking about, the intersection of culture and art and politics, and why it is so incumbent upon you to utilize your voice to the most impact that you can. The greatest impact that you can have is utilizing your voice. And I say that as a poet, I say that as a spoken word artist, I say that as a commentator, and I say that as somebody who loves the art of speaking, conversations, conversing, all of this. So I got a chance to talk about that, and how if it's not for artists, if it's not for poets, if it's not for singers, if it's not for directors or the documentarian, yeah, the folks who make documentaries, right? Them people, like if it wasn't for them time stamping these moments, then we would not know. We would not have the annals of history. We would just have the politics. We would just have the lies. We wouldn't have the arts. And that is what is so important about moving forward. They say after the plague comes the Renaissance, right? Because the Renaissance is what leads people with hope to continue moving forward. That is why humanity is as great as it is, and why we are as resilient as we are, because we recognize things are bigger than ourselves. There is a collective, and sometimes being a part of that collective is one of the most beautiful things that we can do. Sorry, I got off into a whole little tangent. But anyway, so I'm here in Washington, D.C. I'm doing all kinds of things. Bro, I'm smoking weed outside of this incredible hotel, like Franklin Square, bro. Like I'm doing my thing. I don't give a fuck. I'm chilling, right? Like oh man. All right. So anyways, like it's just wild, right? I'm just doing my thing. Nothing really like nothing feels like it's out of reach, right? So I get back um to Georgia, and I have this renewed sense of purpose, right? Like I want to be a political poet. So how do I do that? Right? How do I become more political with my poetry, or how do I become a poet that's more political, or what am I trying to do? And then it hit me. I'm a content creator. I need to create things within a minute and a half so that they could be circulated on reels through algorithms and stuff. And I want to make poetry. I'm at a place called Progress, Georgia. I love alliteration. And then it hits me, progressive poetry. And yo, I create this whole little series, and it's so fucking dope. Like I'm knocking shit out. I got one about abortion. I did one for Labor Day. I did a couple for immigration. I got one for addiction. I got one that's called GA Strong. I wrote it when Hurricane Helene came through, right? And fucked shit up, devastated us. Shit was hard. Shit was hard. But I saw something. I saw my community. I saw counties. I saw cities rebuilding. And it was just gorgeous. And it was so inspiring. And it made me understand, like, yes, I want to be a part of this. I want to build things. I don't want to destroy. I want to build. So I continue doing that, and I continue doing that. And then I get to really have fun, right? So now I'm coordinating with Black Voters Matter, right? And they got this thing called Black Youth Renaissance Tour. Shit is lit, dog. And they got the blackest bus in the city, man. I love that bus. Every time that thing pull up, I gotta be on scene. But they do this thing where they go to the HBCUs in the states. I guess sometimes swing states or whatever states that they're riding through or whatnot. So Fort Valley State, right up the street, probably about 15, 17 minutes away from me, right? So we at Fort Valley State, and guess what? They got Ben and Jerry's coming through so that they can go ahead and endorse their new flavor, churn out the vote, right? Because it's election time. Ben and Jerry's, they damn show active when it comes to the community and the organizing and stuff like that. So guess what? Your boy got to meet him, right? Nah, no, I'm for real, man. Hey, your boy got to meet him. I'm talking to them. I'm telling them like, yo, so I'm a digital organizer, right? So I'm just in the community. I be going to events similar to this one. I make sure that people know what's going on. I'm trying to mobile. I'm giving them the spiel, right? I'm talking about Progress, Georgia. I'm laying it on thick, right? And then something crazy happens, right? So we're talking for like 8, 9 minutes. I'm like, yo, I know you guys are about to do a press release. I don't want to take all your time and stuff like that. But as more people come up to kind of get like pictures or whatnot, these dudes start bragging on me. Right? They're like, yo, this guy right here, he's actually in the community. He's on the ground. Man, it was so dope, man. It felt like I had two new best friends, dog. It was so fun. And I got to eat the ice cream then. I got to watch all these kids go through the registration process. I don't know how many kids got registered to vote, but I do know it was like over 200 people or 200 kids at least that got through that process. There were so many out there. I mean, we was having so much fun, man. So that was a dope thing. And then I got to put on an event with the people that I worked with at in Washington D.C. So the people who booked my flight and had me come out there and everything like that, they wanted to do these activations, basically things to get political engagement up in a certain location. And Fort Valley is a place that they wanted to do that. We weren't able to get a location in Fort Valley, but we were able to get one in Macon. The Tubman, and if you know about the Tubman is beautiful. Ooh, oh man, that's a nice spot. And we decked that motherfucker out, dog. I ain't lying, man. They had this caterer come through with a little shrimp and grit brunch. The Brits. I've been watching Netflix a lot. I'm not gonna lie, but the brunch with the mimosas. We had a little Ben and Jerry ice cream. We ain't had the people, but we had the Ben and Jerry ice cream. Your boy was on this panel. I did a missing disinformation training. I did a rendition of F your hashtag because I got to keep knocking that one out. I need y'all to understand that's an anthem. Fuck your hashtag. But anyways, I basically did damn near a whole day's worth of an event. You know what I'm saying? It was so fun, man. And I didn't get the participation that I was hoping for with that, but I did get the help and the support, and it was a really, really dope ass event. And it was probably about like 2.5 weeks prior to the election. And then the election happened. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the election. Yeah, we're going to talk about 2025 and 2026, and we're going to talk about the liberals, and we're going to talk about the leftists and the progressives and every other insert political ideology or identity politic that you want, because there's a lot of things that need to be discussed. But, anyways, we didn't win the election, but that didn't mean that all of that work that we did was for naught. Because there were some victories, right? We're getting closer when it comes to a majority on the Georgia state legislature. And I may be contributing to that sometime soon. We're going to keep you posted on that one. You already know what it is, man. Whenever I say some shit like that, you already know your boy finna goddamn do something. Whenever I pop back out, I've been doing everything and I'm about to do some more. But anyways, man, we lost the election, right? And it's been a little weird since then. I know. I've been able to see people that I'm close to, and it feels like some of them have like just lost the spark. And I hate that for them because it's a valid fear to have and it's a valid concern. But at the same time, we gonna be all right. I had to. I had to. Like I feel it in my bones that regardless of what they throw at us, y'all, regardless of what they throw at us, we got this. Straight up, we got this. It's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be an uphill battle. It's gonna be some shit that you look at and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? This? I mean, we've already seen the cabinet. I'm gonna be clowning the cabinet some more. If you ain't got a chance to check that out, go and check out Clowning the Cabinet. I'm gonna put everything down there. Man, god damn. I'm sorry. I just get to thinking like, ugh. But like I said, man, there's a lot of things that I'm gonna talk about. And as I wrap this up, the one thing that I want to say is as we move forward with the podcast and creating more content and stuff like that, there's four main areas that I want to start really, really doing more content around, more awareness and things like that. Um, I guess they're a four-quarter kind of thing, but I do need to get back to politics, but not in the way that we were doing it, right? Like I don't want to just talk at you. I need you guys to start understanding these things. So we're going to talk about, politics. We're going to talk about culture. But I don't want to be one of these culture podcast talk show things that contributes to the man versus woman divide. Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing all of these dumbass videos, these alpha male coaches that are complete liars, or these, women who talk this, that about men ain't shit, but, getting dogged out by a man at home, or not really contribute. Like, it's bullshit, right? Our algorithms are trash. And I want to talk about culture in a more productive way, a more effective way, a more enlightening way. I want to talk about hip hop. Wu Tang, you already know in this thing, Wu Tang Wednesday, man. So I want to talk hip hop. I have not had a chance to do that, and there's so many things I want to talk about, from lyrics to, to songs, to albums, to history, to people, to just everything that goes on in it, and just give y'all that journey from where I got into it to where we're at now, just how beautiful the trajectory has been, and just the evolution of rap, just so great. And the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to talk more about mental health, but specifically mental health awareness for men, and even more specifically, mental health for Black men. I want to have a series called Black Mental Health, where we get a chance to really deep dive and analyze some of these generational curses, some of these toxic, narcissistic type of mentalities that we've been consumed by, right? Like, I want to be able to dive deep into that, because men, we are needed. And if we continue to act the way that we've been acting, we're defeating our purpose. And our purpose is to be better than we were. So we got to stop acting like we, right? It's not working for us. And this isn't to absolve women. This isn't to say there's no accountability that needs to be had on their side. I'm not talking about that right now. That's not something I feel that I am equipped to talk about. What I do feel like I am equipped to talk about is Black men and mental health going together. Because I've been doing this shit for way too long, y'all. From the military side to the civilian side to the professional side to the personal side. And I understand what it means to take care of yourself. I understand how important and how valuable it is to take care of your health mentally, but also physically. There's another thing for my Black men. It's for all men, but this for my Black men. Y'all stop being scared to get your prostate checked. As somebody with an enlarged prostate that has had to deal with shit that I would not wish on anybody outside of Fuckboy45, and you know who that is. Oh man, I am telling y'all, this, ooh boy, it's a pain that you don't want to think about, right? Damn, Phil, you don't want to think about. So I'm telling you guys, stop playing with your health. Get checked on through a check up, right? Yeah, checked on, checked up, I don't know, whatever. Check out. That's what we finna do. We finna check out. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for rocking with me. This is the new format. Like, we are gonna do a stream of conscious, and we're just gonna keep talking and talking and talking and unveiling more of these stories, because that's what life is. Life is a story to be told, and we're just flipping these chapters, and we're just getting to deeper narratives and understanding why we're here. Everything is about purpose to me. And I'm understanding that my purpose is to provide peace. It is to provide enlightenment, entertainment, education, and it is to empower people. When you find your purpose, when you accept your role, that shit hit different. You dig? So, as always, well, before I get to that, first and foremost, we're going to be putting this stuff up in all kinds of different areas. So I need you guys to, I was going to say severely. I meant seriously. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Anyway, I need y'all to seriously get to pushing this stuff, sharing these things, commenting, liking, all of that. I need you to subscribe to the YouTube. I need you to follow the Instagram. I need you to follow the Facebook. I need you to get onto the Spotify. We have got to get these things out because I'm telling you, some of the stuff that I'm about to be talking about is some shit that y'all have been wanting to hear. Ooh, I got a lot. I'm telling you, I got a lot. I'm really going to discuss what I consider an unpopular opinion about whether or not I believe Martin Luther King Jr. was good or bad for the civil rights movement, right? I want to talk about what is the perfect type of government when it comes to sustaining global peace. I want to talk about what are the best albums that you don't listen to anymore, right? Like, so that you go back to them, so that you have a new perspective and realize, why was this the best album? Like, I want to get deeper into things that we want to talk about. I want this to be a podcast platform. I want this to be a platform, but I want this to be a community. I don't know what the community is going to be. I don't know what the audience is going to be. But I do know that if we continue doing this, me and you, whoever is on the other side of the screen, if we continue doing this, we can change the world. We can have an impact and we can make ourselves better than we ever thought we could. It is in all of us to be the greatest versions of ourselves, and we all have that ability. We all have that potential. We can all tap in and we can lock in and we can become great. So, as always, I need two things from y'all. I need y'all to be good, and I need y'all to be great. One love. It's Jokes the Babe.